Hey guys, how's it going today? Welcome to a new episode of your favorite podcast. This is episode 471, and this is your host Martin. I guess I hope you guys are having a good day. I don't know why I feel. I think it's because when I stopped last time, I think it was 371. So it was like 100 episodes ago. So that's why I was like, oh, it feels like deja vu, you know? So yeah, it was funny. And I'm close to my next milestone. Remember, the first milestone was 100, and the second one is 500. So we're almost there. And yes, it's the end of the week. Hopefully, you guys are going to have a good weekend. For today, I wanted to talk to you about automation, right? Automation is a thing of beauty. So basically, in this episode, I'm not necessarily going to tell you something very philosophical or something. I'm just going to tell you about something that I've been trying to do for a year, and yesterday I was finally able to do it. So it took me quite a while to do it. So that's why yesterday there was no episode, because I was focused on finishing that, and it's finally done. I'm very, very happy. So in order to understand what I've been able to do, you need to understand automation, right? So I mean, if you're following this podcast, I guess you are you're interested in getting more time for yourself and getting businesses that work without you, and for that you need some automation. Okay, so the principle behind it is there is some tasks that you will have to do in your business. Okay, because some people misunderstand what the automation is and what businesses that will run without you are, right? So the tasks in question, they're still there. They still have to be done for the business, right? For the business to run, there are a bunch of tasks that you need to identify. And the first thing is identifying those tasks and the ones that are actually moving the needle. And then once you have identified them, then you come up with some sort of workflow on how to do them, and then afterwards you try to automate that. Okay, so why would you want to automate it? So there are a few reasons why you want to automate it. First of all is your time. Because it doesn't look like much, but a task that will take you, I don't know, 10 minutes a day to do at the end of the year, that's a lot of hours, right? So I'm not very good at, so that's 300 minutes at the end of the month, and then you multiply that by 12, it's 3,600 minutes, right? Which is, I don't know what it is, but it's a long time, right? Time that you could have gotten for yourself to do other stuff, I don't know, enjoy something else. And, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know, I mean, we only have one life, I don't know what you believe in, but I believe that I only have one life, and I want to make the most of this life, right? So if there are things that I can avoid doing way too much, it is, for me, it's imperative that if I can get rid of it, right? If there is a way to do it, why would I do it manually? All right, because it will take time out of your day, out of your life, and you might be able to do something else. Okay, so it doesn't matter how small the task is. You might think that it's just 2 minutes. I could do it. Well, no. The best thing for you will be to figure out a way to do it for the last time. And this is everything I'm trying to do. Is I look at the task that I want to do, and I will write some sort of a workflow. Okay, so let's say I have 10 steps, and then I'm going to try and squeeze that to a bunch of steps that I need, maybe 4 or 5 steps. Right? Once I'm there, then I will do it for a little while, and then I will see the possible problems that could happen, and then I'm going to automate it, right? So just to give you some examples of automations that I have. So for example, I have this podcast here, right? And what happens once I upload this podcast? So I record this podcast on I don't know what it's called in like a recorder. I don't know. In French is dictaphone. So dicté is to, I don't know. Anyway, so I record this and then I will upload it online. Okay. So what happens after that, these are things that I used to do before, and these are things that you probably do if you have your own podcast or if you're creating content or something, right? Once you have uploaded that, then you need to go and syndicate it to other platforms, taking it and redoing the same thing again, which I don't want to do. So that is automated, right? And then afterwards, once the podcast is on, then in the past, I would have had to go to my blog and then create a post, take the subject line, of the podcast, put the link of the podcast, and all that kind of stuff. Write the content of the blog post, put the links, and then save. It takes time. I mean, even if you become really good at WordPress or something like this, whatever tool that you use, it still takes some time. So I automated that, right? So now it's fully automated. I don't have to go and create the actual post on my website. So my automation is going to pick up everything I need from the podcast, so the subject line. So the subject of the podcast is actually going to change the subject, because on my blog, I want them to appear with a different name in the beginning. So he's going to change that, and he's going to create those posts for me. So creating a post, it might not seem like much. I mean, for me, I am not the best at WordPress and stuff. So something like this would have taken me easy, to put the images and blah, blah, blah. Let's say a good 10, 15 minutes. 15 minutes that I would have had to spend. I don't have to spend that time, okay? After this, what happens is now that the blog post is created, I have an automation that will take the blog post, will take all the details, the URL, the subject, and everything, and it's going to put it in a spreadsheet for me, a Google Doc. So I have the list of all the posts that I've done with the date, the subject, and all that kind of stuff, the link. So if I ever need to find an episode or whatever, I can just go there, okay? So again, that it would have taken me maybe 5 minutes to go and copy all the details and fill that form. I don't have to do it. So I just saved here, I just saved a good 30 minutes already by syndication, creating my post, and then listing that stuff on a spreadsheet, okay? Then from there, it's not finished. From there, it's gonna take the post, and it is going to connect to my email tool, and it's going to create an email for me, all right, and send it to the list that I've predefined. And it's going to, create the whole content, the subject line, and all that kind of stuff. It's never the same. And this will have taken me, I don't know, to send it to the list, it would have taken me maybe another, another 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, right? Copy, paste, blah, 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 send, connect, and all that kind of stuff. Another 15 minutes, all right? So right now we're at what is it? 45 minutes maybe? 45 minutes. And then afterwards, it's going to take the post. It is going to connect to my LinkedIn, and it's going to create a post over there, select a random image, select a random subject line, put it over there. Okay, so that would have been another 5 minutes. So maybe we're like 50 minutes now. All right, and then all sorts of things that happen back, in the back end. All right, so just imagine if every single day, just by creating a post like this, doing my podcast, it would have taken me another hour, roughly, to do all these things. And I do a podcast every day, so every single month I will save 30 hours, right? 30 hours on just this one task. And then at the end of the year, then it is 360 hours. And 360 hours what is it? Is 10 days, maybe 12 days or something? Yeah, 12 days, right? 12 days. At the end of the year, I have saved 12 days. So that means for those 12 days, I have 12 days holiday, right? That I just got right there just because I put up an automation just once, you know? And then I have all sorts of automations that are running. So this is just one example. So this one automation that I do is saving me 12 days per year. All right. So just imagine if you had 12 extra days per year, holiday, all right, or I don't know, spend with your family, just go do something, a basketball camp or whatever, right? 12 days. Right? And just one automation. And then I have all sorts of automations that will run in the back end. If someone buys a product, then all sorts of automations are going to kick in to give them access to the right product, send them the email with their login details and all that kind of stuff, right? So these are the sort of things that you can do with automation. And the purpose is this, is, you know, your time is the most valuable resource, right? So I've been talking for, I don't know, 10 minutes. These 10 minutes, I cannot get them back. They're gone. I can't, right? I mean, unless someone has invented a time machine or something, I can't get them back, all right? So, you know, I want to save them. I want to, you know, use that time wisely and not necessarily spend it working on something that could be avoided. I don't have a problem working, as you know. I don't have a problem working. I enjoy it, right? I have a problem working on something that I could avoid because it's repetitive and there is a way to standardize that, okay? So anyway, the reason why I'm recording this podcast here is because now I have taken those automations to the next level. I can do stuff from my phone. And one problem that I had was that I still had to manually go on SoundCloud and put an episode, right? So I had to wait until the episode has been syndicated to a specific platform, download the MP3 file. Oh, no, actually, in my automation, one thing that I forgot to tell you is that once the podcast is out, I will download the audio file and I will put it on the Dropbox folder where someone in my team is then going to go and do the transcript of it, you know? So that would have been another 5-10 minutes to, you know, get the file, download the file, put it in the right folder, blah, 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 you know? Anyway, so, you know, once I had the file, then I had to go manually to SoundCloud and do it. It doesn't seem like much because I've created shortcuts and stuff that helped me, but still, I still had to do it. It sucked, right? And, I've been trying to find a way to kind of like automate that for the last year. And also, I wanted to have a YouTube channel, like to have my podcast on my YouTube channel. But it was going to be a lot of freaking work to do it because on YouTube, well, you need to shoot some videos and all that kind of stuff. But what is possible to do is that you can create videos based on an image and then you put a sound wave on it, okay? And I've been trying to automate that for the longest time so that when I will post this podcast there, it's actually going to go to YouTube. It is going to create a video based on an image that I've selected with a sound wave and everything, like all of that, just by sharing something from my phone, all right? From my phone, I'm just going to take the audio file and say, share it, send it, and then the whole thing is going to happen. It's going to go to post on YouTube, which now gives me another channel where you guys can listen to me. I don't know if you guys are on YouTube or whatever, if you prefer YouTube or a podcast or whatever, but now you'll be able to listen to this podcast on YouTube as well. Just because I took the time yesterday, it took me all day to automate that because I had to automate the two platforms at the same time. But you know, now it's done. It's done forever. You know, so you know, I mean, automation is. It's the best thing that I've done in my business. It is the best thing I have done. You know, there are pretty cool things that I've done. People are like, oh man, you've done this, it's so cool and stuff. But the best thing I've done is to learn how to automate stuff, how to kind of like delegate and outsource. But automation is, I mean, it beats everything that I do in my business because again, you know, the work has to be done, but it just doesn't have to be done by me, right? Someone else can do it. So now, I have upgraded my automation skills. Before I needed to perform some actions sometimes on the computer, right? I still needed the computer. For example, if I want to add someone to a membership site or something, I had a shortcut on my computer. So I press that, enter two pieces of information. There's an automation that goes out and creates everything, sends the login and stuff. People define their password. It's really cool, right? Still needed the computer. But I found a way to take that and actually put it from my phone. So, let's say I'm at the beach. I have my phone with me. I don't even need my computer. I press a button on my phone. I fill 2 fields, and then bam, it's done. And now, same thing with my podcast. So that means that from now on, I could actually just record the podcast directly on the phone, and then share that with my automation, and then it will go to YouTube, it will go to SoundCloud, and I can actually trigger some other automations as well. So it is a thing of beauty. I'm very, very happy about this, okay? So, you might be like, oh man, that's really advanced and everything. Well, yes and no. It is advanced, yes, if you have to kind of like learn from scratch and blah, blah, blah. But what I did, so I'm interested in automation because, dude, it's my life, it's my time, right? So I have the motivation to go and learn. But I do learn from people who specialize in that, right? So they know stuff that I don't necessarily know. And then I use it and I apply it for myself, right? So all these things that I'm telling you, I didn't write a single line of code, okay? This is just you drag stuff and then you click here, click there, blah, 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 connect 2 apps together. There is no coding involved. I'm not a genius. I'm just a guy who wants to have more time. I'm just a guy who wants to avoid doing the same task over and again. That's all I am. I am not a developer or anything like this, So it is pretty cool stuff. So, I mean, the thing for today is, I didn't tell you that to brag or anything like this. I want you to understand something. It's very often I would say 99% of the time, right? In any company or any solo business or something like that, people are focused on the wrong thing, okay? If you ask me, that's my opinion, right? You're focused on, oh, my client. The client is king, the client this, the client that, blah, 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 the prospect and blah, blah, blah. But what about you, right? You don't take the time to make your life easier, right? If it means that, oh man, I need more clients, you will work 5 hours doing something completely stupid and repetitive to get more clients, right? But you wouldn't take, 2 hours to sit down and think about, all right, how do I make that easier for myself so that I don't have to spend these 5 hours a day? I can shrink that to like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes and then I'm good, right? And me and my business, that's all I'm thinking about. The first thing that I care about is myself, I'll say, or my team members, right? I want to make their life a lot easier and provide them with the tools that they will need to do their work efficiently and more often than not, without too much effort, right? So it can be counterintuitive. Like when I tell that to people, they're like, dude, are you insane? Because you're hiring these people, you're paying them. Why are you making their life easier, right? Because otherwise you don't need them. Why do you pay people if, and I'm like, dude, like you don't understand anything. I have people in my team because, these are good people, right? They're good people. There's a task to be done. I don't see a reason why the task has to be hard just because I'm paying you. We can make it a lot smoother and a lot easier for you so that your life will be more pleasant, right? The purpose is not to live a life of like pain and suffering and stuff. I'm not like this, I'm trying to get things as easy and simple as possible for me and for my team. And when things are simplified and stuff is automated, there is a lot of stress and anxiety that goes away. And people are stressed and under anxiety, then they will make mistakes. They will, they will get sick. They will leave. They will do this and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you're in an environment where, dude, you're relaxed. Stuff has been streamlined for you, and you're a lot less stressed. you're happy in your job, you don't want to change, and you stay here for longer, right? For years. And that's what I want in my company. Like, you know, in my company, I've been working with people for the last 7 years. Nobody ever quit in the company. Nobody, right? I don't know. I'm actually very proud of this. So I'm not doing this just because, oh, if I do this, people are going to stay. No, I do this because that's how I am, right? I care about the people in my team. I make sure that they're happy to be here and stuff. But nobody quit. In the 7 years that I've been working with people, they never quit, right? Because it's like a family. My first thing is to make sure that they're happy, right? So anyway, the point was, maybe you don't have a team or anything, so you're like, well, what does that have to do with me? You do have a team, and that team is you, is yourself, right? So you need to make it easier for yourself to, dude, every morning, right? Every morning I will wake up. And every morning, I do my sports and all that kind of stuff. I take my time. I have the time to enjoy, and then I will sit down and I will check the reports of how much money was generated and stuff. And this is money that was generated without my physical intervention on that specific day to make it happen, all right? So my intervention was in the beginning to set everything up, to do the strategy and all that kind of stuff. But then afterwards, it's automated. There's some automation, there's some stuff that's going on. And this is what I want for you guys as well. Is your business keeps running, the money is still coming in, but you don't have the hardship of going and actually doing it yourself manually, right? There are different schools. As I told you, there are some people who will tell you, oh, you need to wake up at 4 a.m. and then start doing this and then meditate and then do this and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it might work for them, right? But there are better ways of doing this, right? Again, as I said, it's not millions either that I'm making with this. I mean, I'm making good money with this thing, I think I did an episode of, how much money you need. How much money do you actually need, right? I don't know. I mean, I told you with my standards and my lifestyle, right? I need 2,000 euros a month to be just fine. 2,000. That's all I need, right? That's all I need, and I make way more than this, right? But I guess after, let's say, 6,000. Let's say you make like 10 grand. 10 grand a month. I mean, who needs more than this? You don't, right? You don't. And, if you wake up every day and you can make those 10 grand, those, 8, 7 grand and stuff without your intervention because you were smart and you automated, dude, life becomes a lot easier, all right? It does, man. There is no stress. I wake up in the morning. I am not stressed in the morning. I'm not stressed when I go to bed because I know the automation is going to kick in and is going to do, while I'm talking now, automation is going on, right? I know it's going to be done. It's not going to be done by me. I'm sleeping. The automation is doing it 24/7. Doesn't call sick, doesn't go on holiday and stuff. And, happy life. But people don't understand this. They don't take the time to sit down, plan the automation, know what to automate, and then do it. They would rather say, oh, no, it will take 10 minutes. Let me do it like this. And then you're kind of like chained to that task until the end of times. And that's the last thing I want to do, right? If I can automate anything, and I will try to automate it, all right? And then I have a much better life. My team has a much better life. If you knew the amount of tools that we have in the company, it's insane. It's not necessarily fully automated, but it saves a lot of time, right? So for example, I have some tools to host all the images of my emails, because in an email, you know that the images are not physically present in the email. It's just a link that calls an image that's somewhere on the internet. It says, okay, so the image here at the top, the URL of this image is server1.martinebonga.com/image1, right? So if someone says display this, then just pull the image from there, right? So when I get my email creatives from the agency, they give that same creative to everybody. So I'm in the same boat as everybody. So if someone messes up and then that image link is kind of like blacklisted, everybody suffers. So I wanted to have my own stuff. So I created something. So I have a tool. We take the creative that the agency will give us. I just slide it in a box, and then I choose the tracking domains that I want for it, the hosting domains that I want for my images. And because I have multiple servers, I could have said, okay, do it for one server, then you repeat the operation for the second server and stuff. But dude, who wants to do this, right? So now you just put one file, you select the domains that you want for each specific server, you press one button, boom, you have 5 creatives that come out, all right? And before it would have been so basically, normally someone in my team would have had to look manually for every single link of image and then change the thing manually and stuff. It sucks, right? So now it takes them what, like, 2 minutes to do it. Before it would have taken, I don't know, an hour, right? So all these kind of things, they will make your life a lot easier. They will make your life a lot richer, because you might be like, oh yeah, but I need to spend money to actually do those automations. But yeah, well, you spend a little bit of money to do it. So whereas, I mean, now there's some tools that actually allow you to do a lot of that stuff. And maybe I'll do a training on that one day if I have enough people asking, how it works. But you spend a little bit of money to get that done, but then it's out of your plate, right? It's not in your hands anymore. So then you end up like me, for example, where, I mean, during the day, I have all the time in the day to do anything I want, because everything I have to do is either done by an automation or by someone in the team, and I made sure that their life was easier. So now I have 24 hours a day. I can create new businesses, automate them. I can do my sports that I've been doing here for 2 hours a day, no problem. I can go anywhere. I can go on holiday, you know what I mean? So this is the power of automation. And you just need to understand that, you need to devote the time to take care of yourself, okay? Because you like to take care of your clients and stuff, but if you take care of yourself, you will be in a position where you're in a position to better take care of your clients, because you will actually have time to take care of them, all right? I see people who are submerged under work, okay? Oh man, pulled in all directions. Oh, you need to do this, there's the support, there's this, there's that, and then you need to change the images there, and then you need to post the podcast here, and then create a blog post. They have to do all that kind of stuff, right? Which means that then, do they have time for the clients? No, they don't. So at the end, it's counterproductive. So anyway, the purpose of this podcast was to get you guys to start thinking about automation, and just to tell you, I mean, I've been able to create a new channel now, a new marketing channel. So I already had a YouTube channel, but now it's going to host my podcast as well, and it's not going to take me long. I just share a file. I select an image, and then that's it. I'm gone, and it's beautiful. All right. So anyway, hopefully, some people might have had some aha moments and be like, oh man, I need to automate some stuff in my life. And if I have enough people asking for it, I can actually show you my automations. All right. The things that I've automated, these are things of beauty. They save me so much time. And well, maybe I'll take the time to go and create a course, all right? So anyway, that's pretty much it for today, guys. I will see you in the next episode. That was your host, Martin. Bye-bye.